Look, when I first came across this story, I think I spent most of my time as I kept reading detail after detail, shaking my head going, no, this can't be. No, this can't be, because it's an absolutely crazy story. So Jonathan LaFerrierre is a Quebec City resident. He's online right now. Jonathan, as I said, as I kept reading deeper and deeper into your story, I kept shaking my head more and more, but everything that happened here is true, right? This is not a movie scenario or a script, right? This actually happened to you.
Hi, everyone. Yes, thank you for having me. And yes, everything that you read there happened as it was written.
Okay, so let's go to the beginning. You find out basically that you owe $4,000 to settle a lawsuit that you had lost, and you found out because a bailiff let you know?
That's correct. In July of 2021, I received a call asking me when I was going to be paying back the money that I had in relation to the court case that I had lost in October of 2020, and that was the first time that I was hearing about it.
All right, so...
And you didn't even know why you were being sued. You didn't know you were being sued?
No, I hadn't been sued at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I only found out the details of the case in September of 2021.
Okay, so let's go back to the case itself that you found out. What did it have to do with?
I had sold a condominium, a unit in 2018, and a year later the buyer came back to me, said that there had been a mice problem, and that they were suing me, claiming it was a hidden defect.
And was it?
Honestly, it's hard to say. I don't agree with the decision in the end. An inspection was made, etc. But, the details of the case at this point for me are less important because for me that's not really what matters. It's just the whole process that went around it. In the end, I was ordered by the judge to pay $1,500 instead of $4,000, and I paid that money, and I thought that was the end of it, but obviously it wasn't. Okay, well,
now you're skipping ahead too fast here. So you get ordered. The bailiff says when are you going to settle this $4,000 charge against you? You said what charge? Because you never even knew you'd been sued. How did you not know you'd been sued?
So whenever you're sued, it's up to the responsibility of the buyer and the courts to get a hold of you to let you know this is happening. The buyer tried to reach me at an older address that I no longer lived in, so I can't fault them for that. But the court, they sent the letter to an address that I never lived in a town that I never lived in. It was just a total clerical error.
And I understand, Jonathan, you actually thought it was a scam. When you got this notice you owe $4,000, you were like, this can't be.
Yeah, it was when I got that phone call, that was my initial assumption, yes, that I was just being scammed. But as she was telling me details, especially the name of the buyer, I come to realize that this was quite alarmingly true. And that's when I called the courthouse and I found out about this whole thing.
Yeah, and then it only got worse because you called the courthouse to say there's been a mix-up here. You obviously wanted to take care of it, and then what happened?
Well, they told me I need to file a retraction, which is a document that you pay for to try and reverse the decision that was rendered against you. So right from the beginning, I had to pay them $300 to have my day in court. And then every step along the way, there were some hiccups, and yeah, it was just a very confusing process. They didn't send me the right documents. And I was just doing my best to navigate all this as a first-timer.
Okay, I'm sorry, back up for a second here. So they made a mistake, they blew it, Jonathan, and you have to pay $300 for their mistake.
Correct, yes.
Of course, we know that's how it works. Natasha, why are you so surprised?
Just checking.
So you pay the money, you figure, okay, this will at least be a step to rectify the situation. It turned out not to be. What happened next?
Well, then you get a letter telling you that the retraction was accepted. And the letter told me that they would be contacting me in the future for regarding my court date. And after several weeks, well, actually almost a month, I didn't hear anything back, and so I called. And that's when they informed me that before I can get a court date, I need to submit proof to contest the accusations against me. And that's when I told them that I didn't even know why I was being sued. And it turns out I have to send an email to this email address, and then they send me back the documents. And then from there, I can put my case together and submit everything in after paying another $200 as for the contestation document. So, weeks were lost. Finally, I get everything together. And when I came to submit it, I was now informed that I had missed my 15-day deadline.
Oh, you're gotta be kidding me.
Well, at this point, I thought that I had made a mistake. I felt really bad because I was like, oh, well, okay, I screwed up. But no, it turns out that they were supposed to send me another form that explained the judge's decision and gave me the delay. But I never received that form. So I was just functioning on the information that I was given. And unfortunately, it just kept getting me in trouble.
So, okay, so you've now had two mistakes made. It's cost you $500 to just try to prove your point and the fact that you weren't guilty to begin with. But it didn't end there because then you got a call from a bailiff yet again?
Yeah, so after the court date and everything, and I'm ordered to pay $1,500, and that's all done. The check is cashed, and I think this is finished. But no, then I got another call from the bailiff, and they told me that they're going to be telling my employer that they're going to be taking money off my paycheck to reimburse them $4,000. So I inquired into this, and so they made another mistake. They accidentally sent the decision that had gotten retracted, so they had to pull that back. But then they informed me that I still had to pay them $1,000. So I asked for details. It turns out that in October of 2020, when that initial decision for $4,000 was made official, interest started accumulating quietly in the background. No one told me this, obviously. This was news. And so for 2 years, from October 2020 to a few weeks ago, the interest has been accumulating, and now it's $1,020, and they're telling me that I have to pay them this because that's how that works. Even if the decision is retracted and the redone, it doesn't matter. The interest keeps accumulating in the background, and now they're telling me that I have to pay them $1,000 because they never notified me that I was being sued in the first place.
Okay, and Jonathan, once again, this is on top of the $300 plus the $200 that you paid, and then the $1,500 that you paid to make, to get the case resolved. So
That's correct, yeah.
It just keeps coming at you right, left, and center. So where are we at now? At some point, you must just want to do anything you can to make this go away.
That's kind of how I feel. Besides, they send the letters to the employer, so they're getting the money. There's nothing I can do about that. I thought when I spoken to the courthouse, they told me, oh, you can file another retraction, pay another $300, and maybe maybe you won't have to pay this. But in fact, it turns out I have another option that I was never made aware of. It was the CBC journalist who wrote the article who found this out for me. I already began looking into this, but it's more forms, it's more money, it's more processes, and more hassles. So I'm just trying to figure out if I'm actually going to be following through with this. I think I will, but I'm just completely worn out. This war of attrition, it's designed for them to win it.
Yeah, wear him down until he gives up, yeah.
Pretty much. And in a time where gas and groceries are getting very expensive, weathering the storm of inflation, $1,300 for me right now is a big deal.
How much is this? Forget the $4,000. Have you added up how much this has cost you so far?
About $3,000 if we include everything all together, plus the extra $1,000. Or does that include that? So $1,500 for that, $500 for the fees, and $1,000 for this. So about $3,000. Minus the time, energy, and the parking.
Okay. How much of that would you potentially be able to recuperate if you move ahead?
If I move ahead, I would potentially be able to recuperate probably the $1,000 of interest, maybe. But even that's not clear.
So hearing this nightmare that you went through, that you're still living through, what's your advice to anybody listening about having to deal with, and this is small claims court. It's a $4,000 thing, right? What's your advice to someone who's dealing with small claims court?
First, do what I did not do and spend a little bit of money to consult with a lawyer for an hour just to get a very clear picture of what's going on. And be aware that whenever you speak to agents of the court, these are individuals who are very indifferent to whatever you're experiencing. And I've learned that they will happily make your life more complicated if it means making their job a little easier. So don't rely on them for anything. They're not really there to help you. Find a lawyer, consult, be informed on every step of the way. And if ever you're not sure, don't do like I did and wait for the court to communicate with you. Call them. That's honestly, if I were to redo this, those are all the things that I would do differently.
Unbelievable.
It's excellent advice, Jonathan, but I got to say at the same time, I really hope you're not blaming yourself or holding yourself responsible in any way for this.
I wish I would have done things differently, but in the end, this all happened because of a negligent employee somewhere. I would love to know who that is. I'd like to take them to small claims court for $1,300. But there's no accountability, so we just have to move forward and hope for the best. That's all I can do at this point.
One screw up after another. What a story. Listen, I hope in the end, Jonathan, it all does work out and this is the end of it and you're not liable to pay any more money or spend any more time worrying about this. So don't know what to say beyond, thank you for sharing the story, and I hope it's an eye-opener for some people listening, because someone just texted in saying I just went through the same thing last March. So if it makes you feel better, apparently you're not alone.
I've been reading the comments in the CBC article, and it is comforting to know that this is not an isolated incident. This is just the experience, and it is frustrating. But thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
Well, and hopefully you speaking out about it might effectuate some change, right? This is not okay what happened to you, and it certainly shouldn't be happening to others.
I agree, and with maybe something will happen from all this. I think that would be the best outcome for everybody.
Yeah.
All right, Jonathan LaFerrriere out in Quebec City. Jonathan, thanks so much. Best of luck. Appreciate it.
Hey, thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Have a great day. Thank you so much.
You too.
Wow. I should ask him what he does if he's a student or...
I know. I was curious, too.
Yeah.
I found myself being a little bit nosy. But, I mean, no matter what, $1,300 goes a long way these days, like he said, for a tank of gas, bags of groceries,
but just the
and
fact
the fiasco.
that he got run through the whole mill here over and over. Oh, we forgot to send it. Oh, didn't we tell you this? Oh, someone should have told you that. People in the court system deal with this every day.
The thing here is, like he said, one negligent employee made a mistake, and look at the trouble that it has caused him.
Maybe that best advice is, you know what, if you find yourself, consult with a lawyer, spend that hour, spend that money, because apparently that could save you a lot of headaches here.
Poor guy, man.